All right, hello everybody, Miss Daly here. We are going to be jumping into Wit and Wisdom Module 4, Lesson 3. For today, our I can statements are, I can write 2 notices and 2 wonders about the digestive system. I can find 1 piece of evidence from the digestive system, and I can use a glossary to find the meaning of difficult words. Now, you're probably wondering, Miss Daly, we read the digestive system yesterday with Miss Jones, but that text is so long that we had to break it up into 2 different parts. So yesterday you should have read the first part. Today you'll be reading the second part. Today you'll be reading the second part. All right. Just like you did yesterday with 2 notices and wonders, you'll be doing the same thing with the second part today. Another thing you might notice is this word here, evidence. What word? Evidence. Remember, evidence is when we pull information from a text to support an overall question. So for today, we're going to be pulling evidence from the digestive system, all right? Part 2 of the book we started yesterday. And our third I can statement talks a little bit about a glossary. We have touched on glossaries before in class, and we're going to touch on it even more today, and I'm really excited to dig in. All right, let's first hit our module questions. First module question is our essential question. Remember, this one is huge. You can't even see my arms and my hands because it's so big. It takes us the entire module to answer. All right, our essential question is, how can food nourish us? All right, our next module question is the focusing question task. Remember, that one is right in the middle. It changes every couple lessons to keep up with our question tasks. This one is, how can food nourish my body? And notice we have nourish in both questions and we have food in both questions. Nourish is a bigger word that's going to take us the entire module to really dive into. And remember, nourish means to provide food needed to live, grow, and stay healthy. In our content framing the question, this one is teeny tiny. This is the one that changes every single day, okay? This content framing question is, what do I notice and wonder about the digestive system? All right, remember, we've done a lot of noticing and wondering. We're going to be experts at noticing and wondering about part 2 of the digestive system. First thing is, yesterday we talked a little bit about the cover of this text, the type of text this is. This is The Digestive System by Christine Taylor Butler. This is the book that you're going to be reading part 2 of today for your assignment. All right. Now, we touched yesterday on whether this book is informational or literary. I forget what Miss Jones said. I wonder if anybody knows. I want you to put your hands on your head. This might look really silly in your home or wherever you are learning right now. Put your hands on your head if you think this is an informational text. Put your finger on your nose if you think this is literary. Those of you with your hands on your head are correct. This is an informational text. Remember, informational text means that there are facts, that everything in it is true, and the word informational means there's a lot of information in this text. Okay, from yesterday, you probably realized, oh my goodness, there are a lot of really big facts in here and really big words that we're going to dive into more today. But remember, informational means it's nonfiction, which means there's a lot of facts and a lot of information, okay? The first part of your assignment for today is to go to the YouTube video. This one is titled The Digestive System by Taylor Butler, Part 2. Do not go to the one that's Part 1. All you need to do is click on this play button and you will be good to go. Don't even need to go to YouTube, okay? Just click this play button. It'll take you right to the read aloud. And then once you're done with the read aloud, or if you'd like, you can pause and play anytime in between to write down your notices and your wonders. You've done this with Good Enough to Eat, and you've done this with part 1 of this text, so you are experts at this by now, all right? You need 2 notices and 2 wonders. 2 notices, 2 wonders. Once you are done with reading that read aloud, you are going to be finding evidence for the esophagus. And I'm going to show you and model how to do this. All right, so on your assignment, you're going to see something that looks a lot like this, but the difference is you'll be using a different test. All right, everything you'll need will be on the slide for you, just like it is here. I'm just going to model what it looks like to find evidence to answer my question. My question is, what does the esophagus do? Okay, and I see here, I might have to tap out so I can write some text in. It says the esophagus, and then you type one piece of evidence here, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I see a page from part 2, the book that we are going to be reading today. I see a page taken from that text, and I know that this says a little bit about the esophagus, and I'm going to try to find some evidence to support what the esophagus does. All right, follow along with me as I read, and I'm going to pause and stop anytime I see the word esophagus. What word? Esophagus. All right, so my heading is chew on this. Your body begins to break down or digest food as soon as it enters your mouth. Teeth break up the food into smaller pieces. Saliva is the liquid in your mouth. It is produced by salivary glands. It contains chemicals called enzymes. These start to break down starches in your food even before it's swallowed. Saliva also contains a lot of water, which mixes with the food. This helps the food slide down your esophagus smoothly. I think we found the word esophagus. This must mean we're going to be able to pull evidence somewhere around here. Let's keep reading. So this helps the food slide down your esophagus smoothly. Muscles around your esophagus squeeze or contract in waves. This action pushes food down the esophagus to your stomach. And our caption here says, your front teeth cut and slice food, your back teeth mash food. All right, so this is a little bit about the mouth and your teeth. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the esophagus. So I see here there was a big portion of facts. I only need one. I only need one piece of evidence to complete this assignment. So I'm going to look in here. I see muscles around your esophagus squeeze or contract in waves. This action pushes food down the esophagus to your stomach. And I'm going to think, it says, this action pushes food down the esophagus to your stomach. This must mean that the esophagus pushes food down to your stomach. Okay, so I'm going to write in here, I'm going to have to delete all of this to start a new sentence. The esophagus, and I just need to look down here, it pushes food down to your stomach. All right, the evidence is right there in the text. It will tell you word by word what you'll need to write. Of course, you might have to switch some words around, but as long as you are telling me what the esophagus does, you're good to go. You can even be a superstar and write a couple things down with the esophagus because there were a couple things in here, but you are only required to find one. All right, and I'm going to reread this to make sure it makes sense. The esophagus pushes food down to your stomach. Complete sentence? Yes. Okay. So in your assignment, you will have to do something really, really close to this, except it'll be a brand new page. And I'll help you out a little bit by reading some of the text. All right. The next part is, if there's a tricky word in a text, where do I go? Where do I go when I see a tricky word? I remember in my I can statement, there was a word that told me where I could go to figure out more about a difficult word. If you know it, say it out loud. If you said glossary, you are correct. The glossary. Some important things to remember about the glossary is that the glossary is always at the back of an informational text. It will always be at the back because you're going to see a lot of these words throughout the text, which means you might have to flip to the back of the book just to check it out, check out what the definition is. All right. Another important thing to remember about the glossary is that it is always in alphabetical order. So if you ever find a word in the book that starts with an M, you can always look in alphabetical order. As soon as you get to the M's, this is where you'll find it. It's always in alphabetical order. This keeps all of our words super organized. Another thing about the glossary is that bold words in the text can be found here. So anytime you see a bold word in the text, it will be in the glossary, always. And the last part is we use glossaries to figure out words that we don't know. For example, I'm looking at the word gastrointestinal tract. Whoa, if I were to come across that in my text, I don't think I would know what that means. So I'm going to go to my glossary and try to figure out the definition. I just go right down the alphabet. I see A, B, C. Oh, there's no D's. That's okay. E, F, G, and I find my word. Easy peasy. Do you think that you can use a glossary today? Yeah, I think you can. All right. So in your assignment for today, you will be using a glossary to find out the meaning of words. For today, I'm going to model how to do that. So my question is, what does esophagus mean? And you're going to see a definition box here. It says esophagus, and then type the definition here. All you are going to use to find the definition of esophagus is your glossary. That's all you need. So I already know the glossary is in alphabetical order, so I just need to go to the E's. Let's see, A, B, C, E. Okay, there are a couple E words. The first word is enzymes. Do I need the word enzymes? No. The next E word is esophagus. Do I need the word esophagus? Yes. Now you'll see the bolded word esophagus. That's the word that we're trying to figure out. And right after it, in regular print, is the definition. So I see the word esophagus, the tube that connects to the mouth, or the tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. That's the definition. You have your word and your definition. That's how you use a glossary. That's also how you use a dictionary too. There will be a word and then a definition right after it that tells you exactly what that word means. All right, so esophagus, and I have to type my definition here. And I'm gonna look at it word for word. There's no need to play around with any of the words because your definition is right there. All right, the esophagus, the tube that connects the mouth to the stomach. And we already have some prior knowledge about this from our evidence that we found. We know this is the tube that pushes food from the mouth to the stomach. Oh, some connections. All right. So I'm going to show you what your assignment is going to look like for today. Again, a lot of what you saw me model is what you will be seeing in your assignment. All right. So the first thing you're going to see, which you should be seeing in the past 2 assignments that you've completed already, is your must-dos and your can-dos. Remember, your must-dos are the things that you have to do to get points. You have to do them. You must do them. Must-do is, first, listen to the second part of the read aloud, the digestive system. Along with that, you will be writing 2 notices and wonders. Your next must-do is to write 1 piece of evidence about the esophagus, typo. And the last one, answer the question, what does gastric juices mean? I'm going to show you a little bit more so that you can really navigate through this assignment. All right. Your can-do is to find more than 1 piece of evidence. Remember, this isn't required. This is just something you can do if you finish your must-dos and you want to challenge yourself. All right, so first, the digestive system, part 2. This is the read aloud you'll be following along with. Miss L gave us some really good tips about navigating through a read aloud. For notices and wonders, if you ever see something that you notice right away, go ahead and pause the video and type it in, all right? You don't have to wait until the very end of the video to do it. What's really nice about it is you can pause right where you are, type it in, and then play, and you can keep on going. All right, you need 2 notices and 2 wonders. All right, and I'm even going to show you, this is a text box, so you can just type in right in here. All right, next one is, this is your task number 1, is to find 1 piece of evidence about the esophagus. Now, this is a different text than the one that we did earlier when I modeled. This is a different text because I'm going to really challenge you to find evidence on your own. It says, read the following page in the digestive system by Jennifer Pryor. Then find 1 piece of evidence about the esophagus. It says the esophagus, and then you type that 1 piece of evidence in here. This is a text box, so you can type it right into here. I'm going to read this aloud for you so you can reference it if you ever need to go back to the video and try to figure out what some of these big words mean, or you can look in your glossary. All right, it says esophagus. The esophagus is a tube made of muscle that connects the mouth to the stomach. Mucus glands line the inside of this tube. The mucus coats the food as it makes its way down. Food bits are moved down the tube by contractions. Contractions are like waves of movement. They move the food to the stomach. That is the portion of text you are going to be pulling evidence from. So you need to find 1 piece of evidence from this portion of the text, okay? Now, it is your turn to use the glossary. Today, I found how to find out the definition of the word esophagus. You're going to find the definition of gastric juices. Now, even though there are 2 words in gastric juices, the only letter that you need to pay attention to is the G when you're trying to find it. You're not going to find the word gastric and juices separately. It'll be together. All right, I'm not even going to show you where it is on the glossary. It's a little bit blurry. I'll try to fix that for you. But you need to find gastric juices as a whole. It'll be 1 term, gastric juices. And then you need to type the definition for that word here. Just like we did with the esophagus. I did it word for word. You type it right in this box. All right. If you have any questions, please reach out to your teacher and we're happy to help you. Remember, once you're done with this assignment, make sure that you have every single text box filled in and that you press the submit button, all right? Because you want to make sure you get the credit for the assignment, all right?